Hi guys, I said I would talk about this before and I'm sorry it's taken me a few weeks to actually pop this video together, but I've been super busy and this required quite a lot of planning to get this video in shape and get all the relevant information across. So I don't know whether you can remember, but I posted some videos with a mystery clue over what could this shoeing plan be, and just to refresh you all, it is a dim impression material on the medial branch. It's a shoe with a medial branch welded in, like a widening of the medial branch, and a 2-degree 3D pad, basically. Just a 2-degree pad, so with a frog inserting, 3D's the brand. So yeah, lots of interesting responses, and the majority of people were suggesting it could be a collateral ligament injury, which would be very common. However, then you wouldn't put the wedge pad in. So what this actually turned out to be was the main issue is navicular. There's a lot of issues around the podotrochlear region and the navicular bone, and to not get too heavy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the MRI findings in the description, so you can have a look at that and get your head around it. But just to kind of get this rounded up and give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on, there was an overall disruption to the navicular apparatus, but medially, and that's why we decided to put the widened branch and also the dim material. So there was a medial lobe of the navicular bursa was damaged, and damage to the sesamoidean ligament, which is the impar ligament. Now, the impar ligament has such a limited blood supply. If it does get damaged, it takes a very long time to heal. So, medial collateral sesamoidean ligament was affected. The navicular bone itself had some remodeling, and soft tissues surrounding the medial wing of P3 or the pedal bone. On top of this, there is an onset of arthritis in the proximal and distal interphalangeal joints. So there is a lot going on, and the vets and I had a really good chat about this, and there was two options. It was either the widened branch with the packing and the wedges, with a 2-degree wedge, and then we hope to, over a period of time, reduce that to a 1 degree. And the other option was possibly looking at putting a rocking support egg bat shoe. I felt this was the better option in terms of what they were trying to achieve, and I felt the egg bar shoe, you're not really adding that support underneath, which is really what we needed to support that medial branch, and we decided to go with that. So I did the shoeing on this horse, and I think 3 or 4 days later the vets were to inject steroids into the coffin joint to try and help that, and it was a case then of just monitoring it. So again, this was such a complex case, but it was amazing that the vets and I could actually sit down and talk about this. And I was so excited to show you guys the shoe and the shoeing plan, because it was different, and it did really point fingers towards it being a collateral ligament injury. Now, there are damages to that area. Obviously, most of what I talked about is medially. So then you've got to also think, yes, it is kind of along the same route, but the widening of the branch and the medial support is fantastic. But without the wedge pads taking the pressure off the distal interphalangeal joint, which is the coffin joint, you're actually not going to really achieve what we wanted to. And there's such a huge variety of shoeing plans that we could have used. And having the knowledge and the MRI scans and actually being able to sit down and have a conversation with the vets was so helpful that in the end we came to this conclusion. So, like I said before, we're going to inject with the steroids and with the 2-degree wedges, hopefully for 2 shoeings, and then our aim is to lower it to a 1 degree over a couple of shoeings, and then potentially work to no pad at all. So I hope that clears that up.